Welcome to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro New Zealand, the podcast series dedicated to exploring technology-related insights with market-leading guests. I'm your host, Jamie Hall, and today I'm here with Monique Esplin, New Zealand Partner Sales Leader at AWS. In this episode, we dive into the expanding ecosystem of cloud services in New Zealand. We discuss the latest AWS developments, what this means for organisations, and unpack some less-known opportunities. I hope you enjoy the conversation. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts. Thanks so much for joining. It's awesome to have you along this morning. We're going to jump straight in. Tell us a little bit about your career leading to AWS. You're born in New Zealand, but I believe you've been overseas for several years. Tell us a bit about that.
Sure. Kia ora, Jamie. It's great to be here today. Yes, I have. I've spent the last 23 years overseas, so in Australia and in the UK and in the US.
Wow.
It's great to be home, but it's been a challenge to come back.
Still got the Kiwi accent, so.
That's good to hear.
Awesome. So leading up to AWS, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so the last 20 years in Australia, I worked for 4 telcos, so for Optus and Telstra, and then most recently Vocus. I had a stint at running my own business as well while I was overseas, and that certainly taught me quite a few lessons. You know, if you think about working overseas for so many years and what it might teach you, I think the biggest lesson I got wasn't one that I could have got overseas. It was one I could get anywhere. It was about starting a new business and understanding how challenging that can be. For me, that happened in 2008. I got the opportunity to set up my own business, which was great. But for those of you who are as old as me and can remember what happened around then, there was this big thing called the GFC. And my great idea was to go into an investment property business. So we did that in 2008, my husband and I. In 2009, that business did not exist. And so I'm very grateful to the IT industry because I got up and I hustled and I made 30 phone calls. One of those phone calls was to a fabulous lady, Mary Goulet, who worked for Juniper Networks at the time, and I got a role there as a partner manager, and the rest is history.
Great. Oh, awesome. And Amazon has such an exciting organization, has a reputation for innovation. Mm-hmm. But what does your day-to-day look like? And do you see that culture of innovation shining through here in New Zealand?
I certainly do. I mean, New Zealand is well known to innovate and be innovators. Some of the best in the world come from New Zealand, most famously our number 8 wire, of course. But my role at AWS is quite incredible. I'm the partner sales leader. I sit on the New Zealand leadership team, and I have an incredibly varied role. Everything from matchmaker, so I matchmake between partners and customers regularly. I'm a fund manager. I help customers and partners access funds so that they can make their journey to the cloud much smoother. I'm a deal coach, so when things get complex, people call me in to help and manage that, navigate what is quite challenging, partnerships between businesses and the channel. So I get to do all of that on a day-to-day basis, and I get to see innovation at the coalface. So what that really means is companies quite often come to us. We run hackathons, and companies come to us and bring ideas. One of the great ideas that came out of a hackathon earlier this year was a platform called Caitlin AI. And so that was a partner that brought an idea to a hackathon, and then they won that hackathon, and then they've gone on and they've built this platform using AWS Bedrock and AI to do some really cool, innovative stuff. So preserving Te Ao Māori is one of the cool, innovative things they're doing. We'll talk about that a bit later.
Oh, that sounds really cool, and it sounds very varied. It sounds like you've got lots of things going on there, which is really cool. Before we move on, though, I'd love to quiz you just on some of your experience working outside of New Zealand. What would be one piece of advice you'd have for somebody that may be still in New Zealand, but maybe looking to travel abroad?
Yeah, sure. So this is also a piece of advice that I can't necessarily give just on my own, but have learnt from our fabulous All Blacks, probably our best product that we've ever taken to the world, right? And the great book Legacy, if you've read it, which talks about leaving the jersey in the better place. And I think, honestly, when I travelled over the world as a New Zealander, I took that really seriously. I wanted to leave the reputation of New Zealand in a better place. And so when you come from New Zealand, you're not afraid of doing the hard mahi. And our labour market is a lot tighter than the US or Australia, which means you become a jack of all trades. You have to do a bit of everything here. And you need to take that with you when you go overseas, because you are more adaptable, you are more agile, you're likely going to work harder than many of the other people that you meet on your journey. So if you take that with you and you think about leaving New Zealand in a better place while you're overseas, you'll go far.
Oh, that's some really great advice. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we're going to jump into AWS as a topic for a moment and talk about some of the latest developments. So, as some may be aware, but some maybe not, there is now AWS's Asia Pacific New Zealand region that's online.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about it, and make sure you share a little bit to kind of cover both bases, some that maybe don't know and some that already are aware but might want to know a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. So yes, the AWS New Zealand region is live. It went live in September, so we are month one, and it's been an incredible experience, a real milestone for AWS Aotearoa. We started our infrastructure and investment journey in New Zealand some time ago, though, in 2016. So like anything, nothing happens overnight.
Oh, it sounds like a journey, right?
Yeah. Yes. So back in 2016, we co-invested in the Hawaiki cable. Then we bought a local content delivery network to New Zealand with CloudFront. And then later we had our local zone in 2023. And now in 2025, we have a full New Zealand region. And something people may not know is it's the 37th region that AWS has. And every region is built the same. It doesn't matter whether that region is in the US, whether that region is in EMEA, whether that region is here in New Zealand. They are all built the same, with the same level of resiliency. So we have 3 availability zones. That means at least 3 data centers. And we have 2 direct connects to access. So that helps keep our 99.54% resiliency.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to throw a bit of a silly question at you, but so what? And I love this question because I think you can throw it at lots of things. But so what? So why does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Why does it matter? I mean, there are big numbers behind it. There's a big investment here, like $7.5 billion. There's lots of jobs we're going to create, like over 1,000 jobs will be created. We already have, as you can imagine, data center engineers that are here. We have a growing cloud engineering team that is here. But more than that, it is also about growing skills and is also about sustainability. So something people may not know is that we're sustainable from day one. That means that the energy that we use to power the data center is renewable with a partnership we have with Mercury Energy. But we also build sustainably. So right down to the chips that we use, we have custom developed silicon called Graviton, and that has a 40% better price performance than the old x86 instances. Wow. Yeah, so the power that we are using goes further. So important right now that we're in an AI age where we are consuming so much and that consumption continues to grow. We also will be water positive by 2030, so that's an AWS global goal. So that means the data center infrastructure that's built here uses advanced cooling technology, and we use recycled and reclaimed water wherever possible. And that's important to New Zealand businesses because big New Zealand companies now need to disclose what they're doing with their climate goals and helps them if they've got net zero emission goals.
That sounds really, really exciting, and it is so important. I think specifically in New Zealand, it's so important that we have that focus around sustainability. Our country is built around that sustainability message as well. So that sounds really, really cool. So what does this aim to solve for Kiwi organisations? Because obviously that they can leverage offshore availability, but What about here? And what's it aiming to solve?
Yeah, so now New Zealand businesses can access global scale with their data still in New Zealand. And that's important to New Zealand businesses, some of our New Zealand government organisations, certainly our iwi organisations that want to store their data, their taonga, in a secure and safe way onshore. But it also means that companies who have never thought about the cloud before might use this to kind of say, maybe now's the time to think about it. And companies might want to look at if they are refreshing hardware or they're refreshing licenses. Now they could get an alternate option. And we see this happening with license renewal, particularly with VMware, particularly with Citrix. We offer optimized license assessments which Ingram can do and any of their business channel partners can do.
Thanks for the plug.
No problem. Yeah, so companies can find out, actually, is this going to be cheaper for me to do the way I've always done it on-prem? Or could I actually get some cost efficiency now by doing it in the cloud in New Zealand? So it's a new insertion point, I think.
And from like a telltale perspective, what challenges might be a telltale sign for organizations that they need to leverage this?
Yeah, well, first of all, a refresh cycle, right? So if you have to refresh hardware or licensing, that means you're going to have a large capital outlay. So think about how you might do that differently. But also if you're growing or retracting. So if a company is growing, adding new people, adding new offices, moving into new markets, trying to put on new products and build new products fast, then cloud is a great option because you can scale and you only pay for what you're using. If you want to go and be as close to your customer and you've got customers, in other markets and regions, then you can do that easily. But also if you're trying to improve your customer experience, and what business is not? I mean, I would challenge every business should be trying to improve the customer experience, right? Then that might be a reason that you might think about the cloud and AI. A good example of that is One New Zealand. So One New Zealand has been a great partner of AWS for many years. After they used Connect and their AI tools in their contact center, they improved their customer trust by 10%. Yeah, and that's just because the contact center agents now can access knowledge quicker and solve customer problems faster. I mean, let's face it, when you call a contact center, Jamie, are you calling for a chat?
Yeah, you want that solved as quick as you can, right? As quick as you can. And I think that whole topic is really key. So that customer experience piece, I think, is a focus for every business these days. So that's a really, really good one. So where do you see the untapped opportunities for New Zealand organisations then?
Yeah, well, I think the untapped opportunities we actually don't know yet. So we see a lot of opportunity that has been realised in the urgent, non-important space. So using the Stephen Covey model, this is to help us be more productive, right? And I hope that you're all using AI tools to be more productive. I was today to prepare for this last minute. But the untapped opportunity is likely to be in the really important, not so urgent space. And as I mentioned earlier, for me, these are going to be in areas that we can drive significant social impact. So some good examples of that are preserving Aotearoa Māori and reo. And a company called Kiwi Digital are doing that using Amazon Bedrock and AI. Our Digital are working with Te Whatu Ora to make sure that when I go and have an experience with my clinician or my doctor, if English is not my first language, I might be able to do that in my own native language. And then improving those relationships and getting our people to understand their diseases and the ways that they can improve their health will ultimately improve the outcomes, right, for Māori and Pacifica in particular, which I'm most interested in.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I mean, and it's such an exciting area, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but we had Joel from Ultra IT in here speaking about some cool stuff that he was working on, but we'll get back to that soon. Cool. So I wanted to just to zoom in a little bit on Kiwi startups. Yep. So, Sharesies comes to mind, Xero, TradeMe, and they're all, big businesses today and use AWS technology. But what about the early startups? What is the opportunity for them?
Well, the first thing is Sharesies and Xero weren't always big companies. They started as small companies, and we were there with them at the beginning of their journey. And we're very, very proud of those long-standing relationships. And as I said, that's one of the advantages of cloud is that you can scale. You can scale from being a small company to a very, very big company. And we want that for as many New Zealand companies as possible. Some others that people may not have heard of. So DataMask is a New Zealand-owned and started business. Grant and Amy, the founders, they mask data, as the name suggests, and production data, so that data is kept safe and can't be breached. They started here in New Zealand. They now have big global customers like Best Western Hotels, and they've opened offices in New York. So we really pride ourselves on helping small companies become big companies. We have great programs. So the Activate program for startups, the links will be in the document. So please, if you are a startup, go and have a look. Go and check out Activate.
Yeah, and it's a really good call out as well. So there's going to be a whole bunch of links that we'll include in the description for everybody to click through and have a read. And thank you for sharing some examples so far. There have been some good ones in there. All right. So when I talk with partners and organizations, I specifically around IoT and Edge, but other areas as well, AWS keeps coming up. Why is that? Why is it in that area?
Well, Jamie, everybody knows AWS for infrastructure. So they know us for compute and storage. But that is just 2 of our 200 services.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be a surprise that you hear our name come up around other things as well. But why Edge? Because ultimately we have to get the data to and from the places that people need it. And so Edge, IoT, would be if the data is on your farm, as a good example, and you're a farmer and you want to understand soil, your soil nutrients, your soil health, or your crop health, then you need to collect that data from the edge. And IoT tools are used, right, in those remote use cases. But also, if you want to stream large amounts of data out to remote communities, another little known big project of ours is Kuiper. And Kuiper is low orbit Earth satellites that will help deliver streaming education, as an example, to underserved and remote communities. So that's why you hear about us at the edge. And so when we can bring the data back from the edge, then you can also store it at scale, and then you can analyze it at scale. And then obviously now with the advent of AI, businesses can ask questions in natural language of that data from anywhere in their business.
Wow. And I can't even imagine 200 services. I couldn't even imagine what's in that list. So we'll have to share that in the description as well, so people can have a bit of a browse there. Now, I'd mentioned Joel before, Joel from Ultra IT. We had him on the episode, and he spoke about some really cool local community projects, which was awesome to hear. But can you tell us about where AWS continues to break ground in this area and continues to support those culturally aligned and compliant community organizations and services?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, a big shout out to Joel. Kia ora, Joel. And thanks for your partnership. Joel has been absolutely incredible for us up in Northland, helping Northland businesses and a number of iwis up in Northland get onto the cloud. So we're really appreciative of that. But the cool work that Joel and I are working on together, and it's not just Ultra IT, there are a number of other partners engaged in this work, is in the community, because, as I said, AWS and its investment in New Zealand is not just about the infrastructure. It's really important for people to understand we take importantly that scale brings broad responsibility. And part of that responsibility is ensuring that everybody has access to digital education and digital skills. And one of the ways that we are doing that in the community is on November the 1st. So Joel and I are part of an initiative called Whānau Day. It will be held in South Auckland at the Dewdrop Centre. We're welcoming all whānau, so haere mai, come, everybody is welcome. It's a free community event, and it's there to inspire young people and their families, so mum and dad and aunties, to think about technology as a career. I'm really passionate about it. It's really important to me because this career has afforded me amazing opportunity, not just for me, but for my kids. And my kids get to dream big and follow their dreams. They want to both be international surfers. They are in their Pacifica groups at school. They want to travel the world. All of that is possible because I've afforded a great career in tech. I want that for everybody.
That sounds really cool. And thank you for mentioning that upcoming day. We will have to, again, share the details on that one and get the news out there as well. So if there were organizations listening to this that think they could benefit from greater support in this area, what would be the next step for them?
Yeah, sure. So if there are organizations that are specifically interested in Māori and Indigenous and the way they might store their data securely, then AWS invested a lot of time in consultation with Māori customers and partners last year and brought the Māori Data Lens out, which is a way to framework and questions that you might ask so that your data is stored thinking about tikanga, so Māori principles. So the Māori Data Lens is a place that people might want to go. The link will be there. If you're a partner and you might want to know more, then check out the New Zealand Partner Community Day. Please register. That's on November the 7th. The link will be there. And of course, you should go and speak to your distributor, Ingram.
Another plug, yes.
Because that's what distributors do.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. To speak with your distributor of choice, they're going to be able to help as well. Great. Okay, so the last question I have for you, and this is something that we did speak about in the prep, but I did see it come up and I couldn't believe it. I hear that AWS aims to train over 100,000 people in cloud skills by 2027, but that's Kiwis. That's not globally, that's Kiwis, right? What does that involve? And then how do partners and Kiwi organisations become a part of that if they were really keen to be involved?
Yeah, absolutely. We want everyone to be involved. As I said, it's really important. Not because, well, there's two reasons that digital skills are important. One, because we want New Zealanders to dream big. We want New Zealanders to think, if there was anything that I could build, innovate in the cloud in New Zealand, what would it be? And you need to have some awareness of the possibility that AI brings to do that. That's the first thing. The second reason digital skills are super important and we want everyone to have them is in 2024 we did some research and New Zealand employers will pay 30% more for people with advanced AI skills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Link as well.
30%.
Yeah. 30% more. So get the skills, people.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. And what we do is make sure that those skills are easy to get. So we couldn't train 100,000 people just ourselves. We partner with Te Pūkenga. So Te Pūkenga run a micro-credentials course for us. It's 12 weeks. It's aimed at people who might want to potentially change a career. So not necessarily just people who are leaving school or graduating, but people who are mid-career and might want to say, hey, I think I'd like to give this tech thing a go. How could I do that? Go and check out Te Pūkenga. We also have had graduates who might have studied law or medicine like mum and dad asked them to do, but then have thought, actually, maybe I want to give tech a go. Great way to do it.
Yeah.
And then we have our partner community who helps onboard and take on those graduates. We also partner with Lumify. So Lumify are a training organisation. They have recently done a whole lot of Gen AI courses for free. And also we have our own inspiration technical series of talks that are happening throughout November. They are also all free as well and on LinkedIn. All the links are below.
Great. Yeah, we're going to have a whole bunch of links to share on this one, which is great. Now, we have unfortunately run out of time and we're on to the final part of this conversation, which is our 5 in 5 segment. So I ask the same 5 questions to every guest that comes on. 5-second-ish answers. Here we go. First question. What book, app, or show would you miss the most on a deserted island?
Well, this is a little indulgent, I think, maybe. First of all, I'd miss my Kindle. Not necessarily just a book, but the thing that holds all of my books, which probably would run out of battery, unfortunately, on my deserted island. But I would also miss a glossy mag. I love a glossy house mag. I'm building a house at the moment. I love those ridiculously expensive $15 mags.
Lots of inspiration in there. Yeah. All right, question 2. What is your favourite movie featuring AI?
Well, anything that comes out of Weta Studios, of course, because Weta is a great New Zealand business and a great AWS customer. Currently watching Chief of War, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check that one out. All right, question 3. What does your social media algorithm think you're obsessed with?
My social media algorithm knows I'm obsessed with menopause Pilates, of course.
Okay.
It obviously knows how old I am and how I would like to look a lot better.
Don't be mean on yourself. All right, 4th question. What piece of outdated tech do you miss the most and why?
Well, I don't know if this is kind of what you're thinking about when you're saying outdated tech, but we're a bit of a muso house, and I can't say we miss it because we still have it, but vinyl turntables.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they are great. Sound quality's amazing. Brings back a point in time in our lives when we were in London and doing, fun things. And then also further back than that, the mixed tape.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
just was so cool that you could put your own music on a tape and build it, bro, and you get the pencil stuck in when you're trying to rewind it and wind it.
Oh,
Yeah.
too good, too good. And it feels a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago, was it really?
No. Technology's moving fast.
Yeah, now last question. If you could share one game-changing productivity tip, what would it be?
Everybody get your own AI assistant. So I have my Q assistant working with me every day. And then also go one step further and build your own productivity flow within. We have Quick Suite. So I now have a tool that goes and reads all of my email and then prioritizes for me and tells me which ones I should answer first, which of course are always ones that come from Ingram Micro and our partners.
Nice. I love it. Love it. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you on, and thank you for sharing so many great examples. We're going to have so many links to share in the description. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in today, and a special thanks to AWS for sponsoring this episode. If there are any guests or topics you'd like to see featured, connect with me on LinkedIn. You'll find the links in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.